Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is the 9th and final episode in the Skywalker Saga, which spans from episodes 1 to 9. And I had huge anticipation for this, as I am a huge Star Wars fan, and I loved both The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, but for very different reasons. And I just couldn't wait to see how Rey and Kylo Ren's story ended in this film, as well as the Skywalker Saga as a whole. And once you get past this film's first act, this is an incredible roller coaster that is easily my favourite of the new sequel trilogy. Daisy Ridley and Adam Driver's performances are brilliant. They really effectively portray their characters in a conflict between the light and the dark, and you can really see how much they've come on as actors since The Force Awakens, and they take you through so many emotions throughout the film, and it's also a testament to the journey that we've been taken on with this sequel trilogy through their performances alone. The rest of the cast is brilliant, especially John Boyega. Carrie Fisher gets a very loving tribute, and a certain villain from the trailers is played with skin-crawling menace by Ian McDiarmid. And despite the immense pressure that he faced, J.J. Abrams is brilliantly up to the task of bringing the Skywalker Saga home. And it's an absolutely gorgeous film with some great camera work in certain action scenes. The script, written by Chris Terrio, does some really surprising things, but pulls them off brilliantly. It also gives some characters more backstory, such as Poe. It was really interesting to learn a bit about Poe's life before he joined the Resistance. And after a clunky first act, the film completely takes off and becomes everything I ever could have hoped for from it and more. The third act is the stuff of Star Wars fans' dreams. And the reason that I love this part of the film so much was that despite the huge scale of it all, the film went back to what Star Wars is really all about at its core. Hope and rebellion in the darkest of times and in the face of impossible odds. And the fact that it went back to this made me so happy, as it's something I felt like the sequel trilogy had forgotten about almost. It provides a great and very satisfying conclusion to the Skywalker Saga, as well as for the sequel trilogy's character's journey. There is almost non-stop thrilling action with flawless, photorealistic CGI as always, which is wonderfully aided by an, as always, perfect John Williams score, which deploys signature Star Wars themes at the perfect times to give me goosebumps. And there were certain shots, thanks to J.J. Abrams' direction, that gave me goosebumps even without the iconic music. However, as I mentioned a few times, there is a clunky first act, which feels a bit all over the place and was only really fully engaging when it focused on Rey and Kylo Ren's struggle. Also, there is something that they do to character which I won't spoil here, that is quite a major plot point. However, it's not really mentioned after it happens, and it is an important thing, so I do wish that they'd done a little more after this thing happens to think about this event. Nevertheless, despite the first act, the rest of the film more than makes up for it, and is truly everything I could have asked for as a Star Wars fan, and gives us the perfect end to the Skywalker Saga and to the journey of the characters throughout it. And because of this, I'm going to give Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker a 9.5 out of 10. I truly loved this movie once I got past the first act, and I think I'm going to do a spoiler review for this if I get the time sometime soon, as there's some really major things I'm desperate to talk about, and it's gone straight to my top 5 of the year as it is that good. And I really hope that it does unite fans together in the ways that it tries to end the saga. I loved it so much, and I think if you're a Star Wars fan, I think you will too. That was my review of Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, guys, and I hope you enjoyed it. Goodbye.